So the base game of The Sims 4, it's just been announced that it is now free to play. So if you have been thinking about playing The Sims 4, you can download and you can play the base game free of purchase, which is a wonderful way of getting into this game. This is another one of those games where I can really lose a lot of time playing. The Sims 4, if you're unaware, it's basically a life simulation where you create a sim. You can create an entire family. It's just kind of taking them through the routine. So if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, if you've heard about the game, if you wanted to play it, I do recommend it. I do think it's a lot of fun. What I wanted to do is I wanted to take some time and just kind of go through the very basics so that if you've never played it before, you're thinking about playing it, and you'd like just a good foundation to at least get started with. That's what this video is about. So when you start the game, you're going to be presented with the home screen, which really just is kind of an overview of what's currently going on, whatever packs you may have. You do have the gallery. What the gallery is a place where other creators may have created a sim or a house, and you're welcome to browse through that. You can download and add a house if you want, but that's a little bit more advanced. What I want to do is get into the basics of the game. So the first thing we want to do is, of course, you want to start a new game.
Kombippa Womberg.
When you start a new game, you have a couple of options. The first option is the personality quiz. You answer a couple of questions, and it will generate a sim for you. If you're not really interested in your sim's look and their personality to that high level of degree, then this is a great way of getting started. But let's kind of do it ourselves. So this is the beginning of a sim. The first thing you want to do is let's, of course, give the sim a name. I'll just put in my name. All right. That's step one. The next thing you want to do, this identity. Click on that, and this is where you can determine if your sim is male or female. We'll do male. You can choose toddler, child, teen, young adult, adult, or an elder. Let's go with adult. To the right is walking style. So this is where you pick the walking style of your sim. When you find a walking style that you like, then you just click the check mark. Right below that is where you can set the pitch of your sim's voice.
Sakini Mixlin.
That's a Jabin, Obi.
Tenawa Frongi.
I tend
Quexanos
to
Fopea.
right about in the middle.
Wambasi Jewel.
Not a bad spot. You can randomize
Hey.
the look of your sim.
Menarshkel? Huh?
Alf Sabak.
Yazip? Love you through ya.
But instead of doing that, we'll go ahead and create our own sim. Over here to the left is pick an aspiration. You click on pick an aspiration. That's really kind of what it is that you want your sim to really be focusing on as they go about their daily life. Do you want your sim to be athletic, a family person, into food. Let's go with creativity. And then once we click creativity, is it musical creativity, paint, or best-selling author? Let's click on best-selling author. And then we can pick a trait. Now you can change your aspiration, but your traits you cannot change unless you use a cheat code, and you can always randomize them. But let's start here. So if I am trying to be creative, then one of my traits could be a creative trait.
Lovo.
So my emotional traits, hobbies, lifestyle, social. So say for hobby, I could click on being a bookworm. Lifestyle, I could click on, now what I do tend to like, I do like to click on neat. That kind of helps me out with my sim. They will kind of wash their hands without me telling them to wash their hands and things of that nature. Um, Loner sim is, I do that sometimes because if I'm living alone, then I don't always have to have people around. However, the flip side of that is the person tends to get very tense when they are around other individuals. So you can always do something like, I like to sometimes do um, outgoing or just a good person. Let's do good person.
Haha!
Excellent. So now I have picked out my traits, my aspiration. Here's my sim here. If I wanted to add another family member, I could do that there. I'm going to scroll in and let's work on the sim. Let's start with the face. Well, actually, let's start with the body. Over here to the left, I can determine if I want my sim to be very muscular.
Woo!
Let's go here, and then
Oh, what is that? Ooh.
let's go with that. Scroll into the face. And then let's start with skin tone. And you've got the option of whether you want warm, neutral, cool. Let's go with something like that. Let's go with the face. Hair. How about no hair? And then if we do facial hair, instead of that beard, let's do that. Accessories. Maybe instead of those shades, I don't know if I want my sim constantly walking around with. How about that? The other thing that you can do if you really want to get in depth with it, you can do the detailing where you can actually go in and you can kind of really move things around with your sim. I tend to not get that in depth with my sim. Now that I have worked on the face, I've got the build. The next thing that I want to do is I want to work on clothing. So I can click on the shirt here to start working on shirts. Now, a way to customize it that saves you a bit of time, right here where you see stylized look. You can click on that, and I really like this because it kind of saves a little bit of time, but you're still putting your own spin on how you want your sim to look. So when you're playing the game, you want to look for everyday, for formal, for athletic, sleepwear, party, swim, hot weather, cold weather. These styled looks are preset looks where you can just, without having to go through and select shirts and pants and shoes, you can just scroll through and see if there's something that you like. When you find one that you like,
Ah,
you click on
too
it.
sharp.
You can change the color.
Ah, it's a yob.
That's not a bad look for every day. Then you move on, and of course, you just go down the line. What would the formal look be?
Ooh. Huh? Glaffy. Blaffy. Durfna? Wibnay.
All right. Athletic. So this is a great way to customize it,
Ooh.
but you're not
Shannon
having
Bork.
to really dig in and pick out
Oh.
individual items.
Efiaba.
But you're welcome to if you want. Sleepwear.
Quosenics. Ha.
Party look.
Hmm. Ah, it's a yob.
Swimwear.
Ooh. Janet Borp. Uh-huh.
Hot weather look.
Oh, Efiaba.
Cold weather.
Ooh. Uh-huh.
So now, if you think about it, that didn't take too terribly long. We now have our everyday look, formal, sports, sleep, party, swim, warm weather, cold weather. Holding down on left click, I can rotate my sim. I can continue to make changes if I need. Once you move on and you start the game, you would need to initiate a cheat code in order to get back into your character creation. And then let's go ahead and pick an image so that when we log back in, this is what our sim will look like. And save, and let's start playing. With the base game of The Sims 4, you will get 3 worlds. So you see multiple worlds here. That's because I have several of the DLCs. But if you're playing the base game, you're going to get Willow Creek, Oasis Springs, and Newcrest. So let's move into Willow Creek. I'm starting the game with 20,000 simoleons. As you can see, we've got a variety of houses here. Some of these houses, either I cannot afford them, or somebody is living in the house already. As you can see, here is an empty plot if I wanted to build my own house or purchase a house off of the gallery. Let's actually purchase a pre-made house. Building a house is a little bit more in depth than what we're wanting to do with this particular tutorial. Over here in this base world, I do have some places where the sim can go, such as a library, a gym, a nightclub, and a restaurant. But let's get started with a house. So here is Crick Cabana, 2 bedroom, 1 bath, $13,000. Here is Daisy, 1 bed, 1 bath. And here is Streamlet Single. Let's do Crick Cabana, 2 bed, 1 bath. Click on Confirm. And then it's going to ask me, do I want the house to be unfurnished or furnished, or do I want to bulldoze? For the purpose of what we're doing, let's just pick a house and let's just keep it furnished. Let's pause. So this is my house that I'm standing in front of. When you are playing the game, so I'm holding down on the scroll wheel to rotate side to side, up and down. My camera control is here, so I can also rotate this way. You do have the option of whether or not you want to use the Sims 4 camera or the Sims 3 camera. I find using the Sims 3 camera controls a bit easier to operate and to understand. When it comes to the house, you have a couple of different ways of viewing the house. This is the walls up view. If you're playing top down, you could do it that way. What I find is instead of the walls up or the walls completely down, I find walls completely down a bit difficult to work with. I like walls in kind of this split view, so whatever angle I'm viewing the walls in, they will appear or disappear. But this is home. Now for my sim, as you can see over here, this is my sim. They are currently, this is their mood. When you look at them, you'll see their mood. Right now, the sim is fine. Over here is the phone. We will use the phone just briefly. You'll spend a lot of time using the phone. If you are away from your sim, you can always click on the face and it will take you right back to your sim. If I want to change my sim's clothing, click on them, outfits, change outfit, and then there are the outfits that I selected. So let's click on that. Let's unpause. And now I am wearing my everyday look. But here is the aspiration again, and it shows what it is we're trying to accomplish for the aspiration. My career, I don't have a career yet. I don't have skills. I do not have relationships. Nothing is in my inventory. These are my traits. But you're going to be spending most of your time in the needs. The game is linear. There's really no path that you're following except the path that you set. But it is important that you make sure that you are meeting your sim's needs. Your sim has a need to be in the positive, or you want to take care of your sim's bladder, their hunger, their energy, their fun, their social, and their hygiene. If the sim's bladder goes from green to yellow and then eventually gets into the red, if you have not taken care of that need for the bladder, then they will soil themselves. Hunger, if it goes from green to yellow and then into the red, then they will potentially die. Energy, if their energy runs out wherever they are, it is possible they will go to sleep. The button here is to auto solve. So you can click on this button and they will solve their need themselves. The game is paused. You've got normal speed, fast speed, and ultra speed. So let's do this. Let's go into the house. Before we go into the house, here's the mailbox. You're going to get your bills delivered here. So you want to make sure that you check your mailbox. You'll see the postal workers show up and drop off bills. But to get the sim to go to a location, you click on where you want them to go. Click go here. As you can see over here, it queued up go there. So you can line up some things that you want the sim to do. Let's do this. Let's turn on the television. So it's lining it up. And then let's also sit.
Larkham.
You can change the channel. You notice got on the phone. So you can tell your sim what to do, but they do have a level of free will. Let's start to build up some skills. And the most important skill that we're going to need to really build up for the early game is the cooking skill. So when you start a new game with a new sim, you notice I do not have any cooking skills. The last thing that I want you to do is get yourself into a situation where you're cooking a meal that they do not have the skill to make. And unfortunately, I don't want you to look up and to see that your kitchen, your house, your sim, or even any guests are accidentally on fire. Once again, they can die. So let's do a single serving of a garden salad. So let's turn off, let's get rid of channel surfing and television because we want him to get on with cooking. So I just got rid of some things that were queued up. Took out some food. You notice I deduct some money was deducted.
Flish.
Cut his finger. This is a plumb bob above his head.
Aben. Aben.
It's green, which is a good sign. And when he's working on something, you'll see how it slowly starts to fill up. So we have acquired the cooking skill. We're at level 1 of cooking. Each time the sim cooks, he's going to get just a bit better. Let's eat the garden salad, and we will watch the hunger go up. He doesn't have to go to the bathroom, but we can auto solve this need for the bathroom. He is a neat sim. So what I like is the fact that he went ahead and did the dishes himself. Won't always happen, but I didn't have to tell him to do that. After he goes to the bathroom, because he is neat, he will wash his hands, hopefully. Yep. And not only did we satisfy the bladder, but the hygiene went up as well. Let's pause. Should be getting some neighbors coming to visit. When you start the game, yes, these should be individuals all coming to visit their new neighbor. And this person is bringing, looks like food. So let's just play this out and see if they come to visit. Let's go here. So now to interact with the sim, and I'm pausing a lot just so that we can keep up. So this sim's the closest one. So let's click on greet new neighbor. But if I wanted to, I could click on, I could be friendly, I could be funny, I could be mean. But for right now, and as you can see, it is queued up to chat with Liberty.
Olaba. Flurbus.
You see the green positives
Alec Frondoba.
and another green positive. Those are signs. Oh, now that was a little bit negative. So those are signs of how well the conversation is going. So let's greet
So.
Travis. Friendly introduction to her. So as you see here, there's chatting going on. He's fine. He's happy. My social meter is going up. Energy is going down.
Dag dag. Spo biff. Yada boo. Olib. Shmezho la klim. Yiklawoosh. Kana Thor. Mapasish.
Now that I've introduced myself, as you can see, I've gotten a few more options. So I can ask about food.
What's a gorg?
Chicks Rimbloff.
And you can stack
Sibafa.
interactions. Now, remember, it was friendly, mean, and funny, but now I've got some extra. How about romance? I can ask this person if they're single.
Drobus Varick. Chul.
Summer is single. So now let's go to relationships. So now I have 3 relationships. They're very early on, but over time this will start to fill up with green as long as the relationship is positive. If I were to start having negative interactions with the person, instead of green, it will become red. If I were to continue down a romantic path with a particular sim, for example, Summer, if we start a romantic path, a separate line, a separate bar will appear. So not only would I have green for friendship, but then there would also be a pink bar for romantic.
Flurs. Bindo Yum.
I've acquired the charisma skill.
Booma Schmeesne? Oh.
So let's pause just so we can keep up. So now I'm at level 1 for cooking. I'm at level 1 for charisma. So I am building up skills. So you can decide what skills you want to really focus on. Let's do this. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
Joreed.
But those are.
Ludreep.
So that's how you
Simba Kapul. Pinay Vinay.
interact.
Flows it. Blah, Darza.
Now, just because you told them thank you for coming,
Rinshoop. Quexel Plus.
it may take a while for them to leave, and they may not leave. So Travis invited himself in, and Travis is watching television.
So.
Summer brought in food and she set it on the ground.
Smishy Lafana. Flanibi.
And I decided to go here and read a book.
Skiba Bergman.
Liberty is reading a book as well.
Brinka Knor.
And Summer is just going to stand there. So that's just part of the idiosyncrasies of the of the game. If you want to explore, so this is my neighborhood. If you want to explore the neighborhood, see where I can click there. I can go there. And it'll let you know how far you can go. If I wanted to go and explore other areas, I would click on my phone. And once I click on my phone, I can click on travel. I have the option of whether or not I want somebody to go with me. Let's have Summer go with me. And let's say we wanted to go to, here's a museum, here's a club, gym. Why don't we go to the museum? And then you would click on travel. And then you go to a loading screen. So here I am at the museum. Summer has come along with me. And then you can interact with the museum. So that's how the travel mechanic works. Looks like Summer brought food with her. I'm inside of a museum. I am now inspired. So when you have an interaction or something happens like that, so inspired, see how I'm getting a positive. So I'm feeling fulfilled, and this feeling of fulfillment will last for 2 hours. So what happens is you can start to stack positive and negative experiences. I don't know where I am, so once again, I just click on my face, and it takes me, and it looks like I have met somebody new. I'm inspired by something here, but now I can introduce myself.
Ah, Yanabi.
So.
Another positive interaction. Now, this person, there they are, and they are sad. We're having casual conversation, but that's a clue as to how they're doing. So I can try to cheer this person up. Here come a lot more individuals. Let's introduce ourselves.
Ah.
Flars.
Oh.
The Genzi Kimbalaya Zamonis Arrow.
Yazip. Bimbus.
Lots of people coming. Sims are happy when they're around me. I have picked a trait that seems to make the other Sims happy. I am building up relationships, so I now have 8 people that I know. None of them are really good friends. I am building up a bit of a good friendship with Summer, but over time you can build up relationships. But that is really the basics. We've created a sim. We moved them into their house. We've met some neighbors. And he's gone out and about into the world. If I wanted to go somewhere else, click on my phone, click on travel. There are other options here, but those options are a little bit beyond what I'm trying to do with this basic introduction. The primary thing is travel. And then once I click travel, then I can invite everybody or not invite everybody. Click OK.
Oh.
Honorable
Room.
Grob.
Where do I want to go? Go back home. He's still inspired, but as you can see, we've got a couple of things here. So that feeling of fulfillment, 2 hours. The museum had a nice layout, so he likes the decorations. That's going to last for 2 hours. And then another feeling of fulfillment. Now, this feeling of fulfillment is down to 31 minutes left. So, in about 31 minutes, this positive feeling will go away, but you still have 2 hours worth of positive feelings. Went home, looks like Travis is still there. But that is really the basics of how to get started, how to create your character, your sim, how to navigate their home, how to navigate their world, how to change their clothing. That's really the basics of it. And keep in mind, it's really about taking care of the needs. The game time does go quick. A game day goes very fast, and it's for a new player. It can be jarring just how quickly a person can go from a full bladder to needing to go to the bathroom. But I hope this helps. Like I said, this is really just kind of a real quick introduction to The Sims 4 on a very fundamental, foundational level to get you up and running. If you want, I am happy to help with other tutorials. I may do one that kind of goes over some of the expansions. So the free game, the base game is free to purchase, to play. The downloadable content, the kits, the expansion packs, those you still pay for. So I may do another video that kind of goes over what I think are some nice packs that you may want to add to the game. But it's a good idea. Play the game, get a feel for it, see how you like it, and then you can go from there. But really enjoy yourself. I have a great time playing this. This is a great way just to blow some time. But have fun, enjoy the game, and we will see you next time. Take care.